Well, hello, everybody in Student Support Services land. I am Stacy Narcata, the director, and I'm super excited to be here today with our math specialist, Tracy Bateman. She is going to have a conversation with me today about a topic we have heard from students over and over again that seems to be a struggle point as we are into the semester, and that is, how do I get my day sorted out? I've got a lot of asynchronous classes versus synchronous versus hybrid. I don't know how to budget my time because my schedule seems to be so different day to day. And so we're going to tackle some of those topics together. And again, I'm super excited to have Tracy here. So, Tracy, give us just what's the starting point when a student is dealing with this issue of, I don't even know where to start in terms of getting a handle on my schedule.
Thanks, Stacy. I'm really excited to be here to talk about this because study skills and time management, these are things that have always been really important to me because I've been a teacher a really long time, and it's something I've seen kids struggle with year after year after year. And so last year, I really became dedicated to how do I help my students work through this problem. Okay. And so I've kind of come up with a little program, some ideas that I've been helping students with. And I think one of the first things that you really need to think about now that we're in this weird world that we're in are, what are the things that are the most important for you to accomplish in your day? Okay. And when I say that, people are like, okay, well, I have to get my schoolwork done. But there's a lot going on in your world besides just your schoolwork. Okay. So, for example, I wrote down a list of things that might be important to you. So I'm talking about actually doing your classes. Okay. If you have face-to-face classes, if you have synchronous classes, if you have asynchronous classes, you need to make time in your schedule for class. Then you need to make time in your schedule for studying, whether it's doing homework sets, whether it's working on writing a paper, whether it's reading an assignment. You have to count those as two separate things. Doing the class time and then doing the outside of class work. Okay. So when we're asynchronous, that's two things. Okay. Because your class is separate from the homework from the class. Okay. Then if you're really struggling with your day and setting it up, you have to think about, well, when am I going to eat? Okay. When am I going to just relax, do nothing, because everybody wants that time. Do I have a job? Do I have to go to work? And when does that fit into my day? When am I going to have some fun? Okay. Am I going to try to, play video games? Am I going to try to text with friends? Am I going to watch Netflix? You have to still put that into your day. And then, what about family? Do you want to call your mom and dad? Do you want to, do you live at home so you still have chores and obligations there? Exercise. Are you going to get up and go for a walk? Are you going to do an online exercise class that the rec is offering? Do you want to fit that into your day? And are you involved in campus activities? Okay, they're still having meetings. They're just doing virtually. So that's a lot of things that you could try to fit into one day. And then when you stop and think about it, you're like, okay, how do I fit that all into one day? But that's the important thing to start with. Make a list. Say, I need to do this, 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 and this. And then we can move on from there.
And Tracy is absolutely right about that. And one thing that I'll note is, as you're watching this video from our Canvas page, you'll notice that there are a couple of examples embedded in the page of lists, which Tracy was nice enough to go ahead and construct for you. So there's one that lists kind of ironing out your schedule on a daily basis versus if you're that person who likes to see things as week at a glance. So if you want to, you might want to pause the video right now, open those up and just take a look at those and see what the differences are and what might make the most sense to you. And fun fact, now that we're back to being able to print, you could certainly download those, send it to SSS@uwlax.edu, and we'll print those for you. So we'll print out, a month's worth of those, or if you want, a semester's worth of the weekly sheets, whatever, you send it to us, we'll print it out if you're that person that needs to write it out. So know those resources are there for you in just even getting started. Another thing is we've also embedded in the Canvas page a PowerPoint that hits a lot of these main points that Tracy's talking about. So after you watch the video, if you want to go back and take a gander and scroll through those, there's the main points in that too. So we're trying to help you kind of get an assessment and get yourself set up with all of these pieces. So Tracy, as we're having this conversation, another question that often comes up for students is, well, what's the best way for me to study? My mom always yelled at me when I was in high school to turn the radio off, to turn my music off, and to be in total quiet versus, I need to be around people, what have you. Is there a best way to study?
Yeah, that's right. Because, when you're in high school, everybody says, go to your room, close the door, make it quiet, sit at your desk, do your homework. And I'm here to tell you that I give you permission to not do that, okay? When I was in college or in high school, when I studied, I sat in front of the TV and watched a show and did my homework, because if I sat in a quiet room, I was just like, what's going on? I'm too distracted. It's like, it's boring. I need something else happening, okay? My daughter is a freshman in high school. She needs to sit downstairs in her room in the quiet and do her homework. My son is a sophomore in high school. He needs to have his headphones on so that he doesn't hear things that are outside him. He just can hear that and do his homework. Everybody studies and learns in a different way, okay? Some people need to go to the union, find a table in a corner, spread out and take up the whole table, and that's your way. Some people want to stay in their dorm room, lay on their bed, and that's fine too. The trick is you have to figure out what is your way to study, not what is the way that somebody else tells you is your way to study, okay? And that could be, do you study by yourself best? Or do you study best when you're working with somebody else who's in the same class? Now, sometimes that's going to be hard because we're social distancing, but you could do a Zoom call with somebody who's in the same class and work on your problems at the same time, okay? Or do you need a tutor? Have you figured out, hey, I'm really struggling in Math 175. I need to get some help. Well, come to us, because that's why we're here. We're here to help you with that stuff. Okay.
And Tracy, can I make a plug here too really quick? If you go on the Canvas site, there are a bunch, if you click on the Collaborate Ultra link to the left, there are a bunch of study sessions that Tracy has already set up for you all, whether that's with her or one of our tutors. So again, it's a built-in study session for you. You just need to plug it into that planner and then show up. So don't forget those.
Okay. And then the last thing I was going to say is, some people are best studying at 10 o'clock at night, and some people are best studying at 8 o'clock in the morning. So don't let somebody else guide you to say, hey, you should be doing your homework now. You know what's best for you, but the key is put that on your plan for the day. When you wake up in the morning, you can think, okay, I have biology class, I have biology homework, and I have math class, and I have math homework. So take your daily planner and write all those things on it at specific times. Right on there, I'm going to do biology class, I'm going to have lunch, I'm going to do biology homework, I'm going to have a snack, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to, all the things that you want to do during a day. If you don't write them down, you're going to get to the end of the day and be like, oh, I forgot my math homework, or something. But if you have it all written down and you give it specific times, you're going to get that stuff done.
Yeah, and I will give a short plug here too. We know that everybody has a different style, right? Some of us are very tactile and like those paper pen lists.
Mhm.
Others of us really love our technology and setting up reminders. So just know with your Office 365 and your Outlook calendar, you can also set up your calendar in the exact same way Tracy's talking about. And you can set up some alarms and reminders and alerts that dings that say, okay, hey mom, we've been on the phone now, but I just got my alert. It's time for me to pause here because I need to go study for math or what have you. So there's also that piece too, if you're that person
Mhm.
that needs that extra ding ding, reminder of things beyond that. So again, lots of different ways for you to help get that schedule planned out. um yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the last thing that I want to make sure everybody thinks about in this world that we're living in right now is to try to schedule or set up some way to be interacting with other people. Because I know, especially for first year students who are living in the dorms, it's very confining right now. A lot of you are just on your own in your dorm room, and you've got to find some way to be interacting with other people, whether it's through study sessions, whether it's through coming to the SSS meetups on Wednesdays, whether it's through tutoring sessions, whether it's going outside and going for a walk and talking to some people, or there's counseling sessions through the testing and counseling center. There's group sessions. There's a lot of ways that you can figure out to be just interacting with people right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Mental health is so important. And I know that's one thing that our staff and in our reminders, we will keep reminding you of. It's very easy to get locked up in that world. And so how do you reach out to other folks and get engaged? And Tracy mentioned this, I'm going to plug that again. Every Wednesday at noon, you can find the Zoom link on our Canvas site. You can click in. You don't have to stay the whole meeting. You can come for the first part. Maybe you've got a study session that lasts till 12:30 and you want to jump into the session at 12:30 to 1. It is a free floating invitation for you to come and meet up. In the coming weeks, we will have certain topics for these particular meetups. This week's topic is kind of building on these study skills topics and helping you get ready for exams and tests that are probably now starting to come up in your schedule as we hit weeks 4 and 5 and 6. And so we'll be talking about that. And we'll also be bringing in some of our tutors and our upper class students so that you can kind of get some tips from them in terms of what do they do to prepare for things and how are they successful. So we hope that you'll tune into those things as well. Well, Tracy, any last pieces as we wrap up this kind of quick think about study skills?
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that there is some really good information also on the UWL website that was sent out by Betsy Morgan, the provost. She sent out an email not that long ago that listed some things about being organized in an asynchronous learning environment. So there are resources in other places that you can find, and that would be helpful to look over also.
And we'll go ahead and do you one better than that. We'll link it on the Canvas page too. So
There you
again, all
go.
these things we've talked about, you literally can find on our SSS Canvas site and can find right here below where the video is, so that you just click, you're one click away from where these resources are. Last thing I'll plug, if you haven't seen a tutor, if you haven't connected with your SSS advisor yet for the year, please do that. We want to help you. We want you to be successful. We want to check in and see how you're doing. And so please don't hesitate to come find us and set up your appointments. All right,
And if
Tracy,
you
thanks
want,
for having
oh,
this
one
conversation.
more thing.
Oh,
If you
one more
want,
thing.
yep, if you want more help personally with your schedule, you can also make an appointment with me and I will go through all of this individually with you. That's one of the things that I do.
Yeah. Again, so much help, so much help. You're one click away from being able to access that. So again, Tracy, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to chat with me and hopefully share some good tips for our students. And we hope to see you soon on Wednesday's meetups. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.